Okay, hi guys. It's another tutorial class today for us. So this is a sewing tutorial class. It's going to last for 12 months and it's 6 months beginners course and then 6 months master course. How you doing? How is everything? How is work treating you? You're welcome back. Okay, so for this first 6 months it's going to be a beginners course, just for beginners. But if you are not a beginner, you can still join in, and you get to see some hacks, some new things. You know, a lot of people. So at the end of this 12 months, there's going to be a practical test, and for whoever scales through it, there's going to be some kind of establishment. We don't want to go into all that now till the time comes. So all you need to do is comment, like, share, and then you have to subscribe, so that every video that comes up, any video that comes up, you'll be the first to see it. And we guarantee you, at the end of this 12 months, you will have something you have achieved for this 2024 if you have passion for sewing. So let's go right into our basic bodice video. Now, what is basic bodice? So this is a tutorial on how to make our basic bodies. Okay, so when making your basic bodies, this is how your top looks like. Please pardon me. This is how your top is looking like. This is what we want to make. Okay, probably we'll give it a little bit of shape. We'll give it a little bit of shape. Okay. Okay, this is what we want to make. Now, with these basic bodies, there's nothing you cannot do with it. There's nothing you cannot sew with it. All you need to do is measure your client, create basic bodies for it, put it on fold. As you put this pattern on fold, put also your clothes on fold. Then place this pattern paper on it and cut it out. That's all. The next thing you do is join. Okay, so now we are trying to, this is what is called basic bodies, and we are trying to make this. We want to make this now. This is your neckline and this is your armhole. Okay, now why we say we divide circumferences by 4 is this. This is the front. This is called the front pattern, because your cloth comes like this. Now, for us to do this construction properly, this is front pattern. We divide it into 2. This is back pattern. This is back pattern. Now we keep this back pattern aside because we want to work on the front pattern first. But because we don't want discrepancies or differences on these 2 sides, whatever is here should be here. That is why we are going to fold it like this, so that when we put our material on fold, whatever measurement we take, whatever happens here also happens here. Do you understand? So now this is into 2. Also, when we want to work on the back, it's also going to be into 2 for the same reason I gave for this one. That is why we divide our circumferences by 4, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because a lot of people just know that, okay, divide bust measurement by 4. You don't know why it's being divided by 4. This is the reason. So whatever measurement you got, you divide it by 4. So that's why all our circumferences are going to be divided into 4. Now, if you have not watched my last video, our last video on how to measure, proper measurement of your client, please go back and watch that video. If you do not watch that video, you can't understand this one. Go back and watch that video to understand it before you come to this one. Now, when measuring, we've shown how to measure your bust. We got bust, circumference of bust, that is our round bust, was 40, our under bust was 36, our waist was 38, shoulder, these ones here are called the horizontal measurements, while shoulder to bust is 11. Shoulder to under bust is 13.5. Shoulder to waist is 16. Then shoulder itself is 15. Kindly go back and watch that video on measurement, okay? So now these ones are called the vertical measurement, and this one are called the horizontal measurements, okay? Vertical measurement and horizontal. Tools we need for measuring this, for working on these are basic bodies. This is the sample of the basic bodies we talked about, okay? The tools we need for this job is just simple. Don't let anybody make things look complicated for you, okay? The tools you need is your scissors, your marker, your tape roll, and your ruler. In fact, I want to introduce us to this ruler. This is a multi-purpose ruler, okay? This is a multi-purpose ruler. With this ruler, you don't have, because I used to go to some shops, I'll see people still using hip curve alone, armhole curve alone, straight ruler alone. No. This is an all-purpose ruler. Look at it properly. I don't know. It's an all-purpose ruler, okay? You can, this is the straight part of it, this is for the hip curve, and this is for the armhole, and all these curves can be used for anything at all. Okay, so it's an all-purpose ruler. When I saw it, and the beauty of it is it doesn't break. It does not break. It's very flexible. So even if it drops on the floor, it doesn't break. I've had to buy a ruler that I bought for 3,500, and it just dropped on the floor and it broke into two. In fact, my worker just dropped it on the floor and it broke into two. That was 3,500 naira. There's this wooden one, again, the hip curve wooden one. I bought it, fell on the ground. So, but this is an all-purpose ruler. It's an all-purpose ruler. So, it's an all-purpose ruler and is highly flexible. Highly flexible. Okay, so I advise this for anybody. If you are interested in getting one and you don't know how to get it, I got some from Amazon. I kept it in case if any of my apprentices needs it, I used to give it to them. So if you know you want this, do comment on the comment section. Let me know how to get it across to you. Okay, so now we have our measurements set. This is the part where our cloth is unfold, right? This is the part our cloth is unfold. This side is this place, okay? Where our cloth is unfold is this side. So it doesn't need a border, okay? It doesn't need a border. The place that needs a border is this part, which is the neck, the shoulder area. This area needs a border. You know why? Because this is where our shoulder allowance must come. Now, I want to correct something for us before we start quickly. Now, people used to think that when you are cutting on pattern paper, you don't need to put allowance. No. It's most times confusing because by the time you want to cut, you will now forget that, oh, there was supposed to be an allowance. I always advise people, put whatever you are going to put. Your allowances must be complete on the pattern paper so that the only thing you are doing is carrying that pattern paper the way you have cut it. Now, when we finish with this, this is how it will look like. Now, when we are done, carry it like this, put your material on fold, and then place this on top of it and cut it to avoid confusion. Now, this pattern paper is going to carry all our allowances. Now, there's a mistake some people make. People do not give allowance for their neck region and they don't give allowance for their shoulder region. They only put shoulder region and armhole region. They only put allowance by the side. It is wrong. Whatever you cut and you do not put allowance, by the time you are joining, it will eat into what you have cut. If you are doing a turtleneck that is supposed to be coming down, the neckline by the down part of it is supposed to be 2.5, and then you do not put sewing allowance. By the time you will be joining, you find out that it is now 3 inches, which might be a little bit wider for the client. Okay, so everything has an allowance. Every single thing we are going to be doing today must have an allowance. Now let's go right into it. The first measurement, I actually made a mistake. I'm not supposed to bring this vertical measurement here. It's supposed to come before the horizontal measurement, because when you are measuring your client, like we said in our last video, please do measure the vertical measurement. Take the vertical measurements first before you start taking the horizontal measurement, okay? So now we are going to be taking the vertical measurement. But by then, because I told you this place is not supposed to have an allowance because it is where our material is placed on fold, now the place we are going to put an allowance is by the shoulder. This area is supposed to have an allowance. So because of that, we put border. We insert a border line, okay, to guide us as we are walking, okay? And my border line is going to be 1 inch, okay? Now, as you are doing this, please, I want to give us a quick advice. Do not measure your success with anybody's success. Learn at your own pace. Whatever we are teaching here today, please do well to practice on your own. That is why I like YouTube videos. You can watch it at your own time. You can watch it even in the midnight, okay? So now we have put our border.